So as we have been discussing about this Sthula Sarira, last class we discussed that the Sthula Sarira, this gross body, is exactly like a house. How a householder looks at one's own house. Neither can indulge in the house all the time, nor can neglect the house. Nor the person can arrest himself or herself in the house, nor can leave the house forever. And moreover, the house is not for anything but to take care of others' guests. So basically, a householder is always host. So also, this physical body is to be taken care. We cannot neglect, nor we can engross ourselves only in taking care of the physical body. Because the moment we only take care of the physical body, along with the physical body, also we do take care those who are related or that are related to the physical body. And more we do that, more we become gross. And moreover, most of the affliction that we have in our life, it is because of that only. Because, why? Because the dharma of this physical body is what? To disintegrate, to change. And it has to go through changes. How? Let us read the next verse so that we will go ahead accordingly. Sthulasya sambhava jara maranani dharma staulyadayo bahuvidha sisutyadyavastha varnasramadi niyama bahudha maya syuh puja pamana bahumana mukha vishesha. Says, so what is the dharma? So dharma means what is the nature, what is natural, what is, comes with the package. So he says beautifully, Sthula Sarirasya, Sthulasya means Sthula Sarirasya, Dharma, these are the dharma, what? Sambhava Jara Maranani. So only three he gives, so you have to understand also other thing, okay? He says Sambhava means birth, then straight away Jara, decaying, geriatric problem, Maranani, death. So we have already seen in Tattva Bodha, Shad Vikaravat, Asti Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshyate, Vinashyate iti, Shad Vikaravat, Etat Sthula Shariram. I hope you remember, okay? So this Sthula Sharira, this gross body, goes through 6 modifications. Asti, it is. Jayate, born. Vardhate, grows. Then there is changes, metamorphosis. Then after that what? Starts decaying, and finally destruction. But here is being said only Sambhava, Jara, Maranani, these 3 things. That means other 3 also is being understood. So that means Sthula Sarira, whatever I may do with reference to my physical body, I can postpone for few years, few months or few days, okay? Depends upon your age. If you are young, you can postpone for few years. If you are old, you can postpone for few months. Of course, when you are dying after death, body can be postponed, before decaying, or the decaying process can be postponed for few hours. Can you see this point? So it is a matter of postponement. Because this is the dharma of the body. Body has to go through all these changes. And not only that, second thing also, stholadaya. You understand? Becoming fat, okay? And of course becoming zero size. Nowadays people go crazy for zero size, okay? So whether it is being fat or to have zero size, because people are obsessed with it, because especially I notice ladies all over the world, in India also, they don't eat properly. So they are more careful about their body than mental health and anything. So how to maintain that zero size, you understand? Poor ladies, they starve a lot. Somebody told me very nicely, I cannot forget. That lady told, look, if I happens to meet God, I ask one thing. So I was saying, tell me, what is that? Are you planning to ask some best thing, best happiness and all these things? No. Then what? I should ask only one thing if God can give me. And what is that? I can eat as much as possible, but nothing should happen to me. Which is true. So that's why all these people, the mentally goes completely other way around. However, that's not our point. So point here is stholadaya. So dharma of the body, either it has to be fat or thin, means it keeps changing. So you cannot really maintain the same way the body all the time. So the body has to go through some change or other in life, and it should go through. Nothing wrong in it actually, I'll tell you. That is how you will enjoy. You will grow, or else there will be not growth. It's so painful, boring. But you are stuck with one idea, what can I do? So this is what people are. There is nothing that. Also it goes through different type of stages, bahuvidha, different conditions. And what are they? Sisu tyadyavastaha. That means this body has gone through as childhood, then kaumar, teenager, yuvavastha, youth, then after that praudhavastha, matured person. Of course, the painful thing is coming, vruddhavastha, geriatric problem, you understand? So the body also has to go through all these things. And not only that, also body faces varna samadhi niyamaha. That's another point. So when it says varna samadhi niyamaha, so because of this body, so one goes through different orders, whether it is related to varna and ashram. Why is being highlighted? This is a beautiful point. Varna, as you know, we have 4 varnas, not 4 castes, okay? Based on guna and karma. In Bhagavad Gita we have seen in details. Because of mixture of 3 gunas called sattva, raja and tamas, some type of combination happens. So the first category is satya predominant, rajas secondary, tamas very less. So they are supposed to be thinkers, they are supposed to be contributors, they are called as a brahmana. Second category comes, rajas becomes predominant, behind rajas comes sattva, then tamas as usual very less. They are the protectors, they are called warriors, they are called kshatriya. Then third category is, interestingly, that rajas is predominant. So when Rajas is predominant, behind Rajas comes Tamas, then after that comes Sattva. So they are mainly called all these called those who are, they are supposed to make things available, business community and all these people including farmers and everything. So where they make everything available, so they are called Vaishyas. And the final one is called Tamas predominant. Then next to Tamas comes what? Rajas, and after that comes Sattva. So they are just ordinary workers. They cannot think much, they cannot do much. Only they will give the helping hand. So they are called as Sudras. Here is interestingly why highlights. Also there are 4 ashramas. First is called Brahmacharya ashram. Generally from 12 years onwards maximum, okay, sometimes it starts from 6, okay, 6, 9, 12 maximum based on your varna, but maximum 12. So from 12 to 12 to 24, that is called Brahmacharya ashram, where you keep studying. Adhyayana is only primarily, and of course discipline. That's why when especially boys get married, so there is something called Kashi Yatra, okay? It's a very funny thing to happen, okay? So in that Kashi Yatra, everything is planned, okay? I think I have shared this incident with you all long back, okay? So I went to somebody's marriage Kashi Yatra time. I told him, hey, enough. Now just walk away, enough. Because everything is planned. I said, let us go, enough. Then he said, no, how? I said, when you all are here, I said, you are supposed to go, Kashi Yatra means supposed to go for study, okay? Enough, because you know very well that moksha only by jnana, not by marriage. But that time the brother or sometimes father, they will convince, don't worry, or uncle, they will convince, don't worry, we have our daughter, we have our sister, who will also help you to continue your pursuit, will not disturb you, everything will continue. Also in marriage as a karma yogi, you also can gain moksha. So that is the whole concept, okay? So that somebody has to give you assurance, then okay, poor fellow. So you already mentally decided, that's another point, okay? You are only looking for how to get married quickly. However, so when I told him, enough, let us go. He said, no, how can I go? I said, no, because we are here. No, if you people are here, even if after marriage I can study under you, why should I leave? I said, you are desperate to get married. Please get married, okay? Poor fellow, let us not get into. If he listens to me, he will kill me, okay? Please don't make me an example in the class, okay? How? So during this Kashi Yatra time, the point is, one pair of shoe will be given. And chappal will be, slipper will be given. Do you know what is the purpose of slipper? Many people do not know. Because so far when you were a brahmachari, last 12 years minimum, you have never used slipper, okay? Because you have lived the austere life, you understand? The umbrella for protection, you understand? So umbrella is being given for protection. The slipper is being given because for the first time, because you didn't have any luxury, you were under a teacher. There was no slipper, nothing, completely disciplined life. That's why everything was given, okay? Somebody complained. So Amiji, actually my chappal was better. See, this one is very hard, okay? New one, shoe white and what not. Imagine. Joke apart. Because these are the cultural practices you should see and you should have really laugh at, okay? I love it to see from a distance. However, Brahmacharya ashram. Then comes Grihastha ashram. So in Grihastha ashram, predominantly karma. That's a karma yoga. Ishvara buddhya, Ishwararpana buddhya. You do everything. So the body goes through a different phase. Then third one is called as Vanaprastha ashram, where tapas. Because whatever you have done, the attachment and all these things, you have to maintain the distance. So that is called Vanaprastha ashram. Lot of austerities. And finally called Sannyasa ashram, predominantly Jnanam, knowledge oriented. So when this body goes through this the point, these four ashramas automatically, accordingly, body has to get tuned to the ashrama rules. Not that ashrama should get acquainted according to you. Generally, you do know what you do? When you go, you change the ashram atmosphere. It's like, I remember, I cannot forget, I can tell you one Indian example, which is practical example I tell you. Generally, people, when they are in the jail, they are supposed to get acquainted with the jail atmosphere, because jail is nothing but to rectify oneself. So whatever is there in the cell or whatever in the jail, you have to adjust with the food, accommodation, everything. Suppose if you are a highly influential person, what you will do? You will renovate the jail, okay? Because I know one fellow. So he was in the jail and he was transferred to another small jail where he converted the jail with air conditioned room, in his cook, and everything was entirely different. Possible, okay? So if you are a highly influential person, so instead of getting acquainted or getting adjusted with the jail system, you change the jail. Like that, instead of getting acquainted with the ashrama vyavastha, the system of the ashram, people nowadays what they do? They change the ashram. That's why they never grow up in their life. So coming back, based on varna, you have a body. The body structure keeps changing based on the varna. You will be shocked to know. You can see for yourself. Based on the, forget guna karma now. Suppose if you are a warrior, even if you happens to be whichever varna. Suppose let us say you join army. So if you join army or you want to join army, both way. Now automatically your body structure will change or not? In fact, it has to change. If your body structure does not change, you cannot. So what is highlighting here is, this body also go through the change of varna and ashrama. That's why varna and ashrama both also influences the mind too. And not only that, the most sad part is that the body goes through amaya, bahudha amaya, different types of diseases, time to time, including corona, COVID-19, okay? Lungs not working, this is not working, that is not working, God knows. And that's not enough. Also because of the body, puja, abamana, bahumana mukhaha, it has got different type of facet. So what are they? Sometimes you get, people start worshipping you. And of course, avamana, they dishonor you, disrespect you. Sometimes bahumana, different type of way they appreciate you, or mixed way they take care of you. So whether they respect you, honor you, or dishonor you, or differently they do it, that is also again related to the body. That's why when there is a garland on your neck, how you get elevated? Somebody puts a garland, okay, in India especially, we said, when somebody puts garland, that means what? I always think of that way, okay? That's why you might have noticed. Whenever I get any garland on the dais or anywhere, first I think is I remove it and keep it outside, okay? Because if I do not know who is the person and why he is putting, why should I put? But because of the protocol, better to put, okay, thank you very much. You respected me, that's enough. I also respect you. Wherever you are, please be there. Okay? What I am highlighting here is, so when there is a garland on the neck, so person feels elevated. That's why many people hold the garland and keep moving it, okay? You understand? Especially in the Jayanti celebration, okay? Jayanti celebration is birthday celebration. So we have some committees in all over India called Jayanti celebration, okay? Birthday celebration. So garland will come, so people will hold, and especially politicians for photo sake, you understand? Big, big garland. So all these things you should see the drama. What I am highlighting here is, with reference to garland, now body, how is it? Also same thing, when people start blaming you, people start ridiculing you, now what happens? And of course people are indifferent to you, or mixed behavior, how it responds. He says, please understand, all these things are related to the body. So that means what? Be careful. This is what natural, it will happen, so that you don't have to bother at all. Okay, next he says, let us look at these organs of perception and action. How are they? Karmendriyani and this organs of perception, Jnanendriyani. But here is differently named. He says instead of Jnanendriyani, he says Buddhindriyani. Okay, let us read. Buddhindriyani Sravanam Tvagakshi Granam cha jihva Vishayavabodhan Bodhanat Granam cha jihva Vishayavabodhanat Bhakpanipada Gudamapyupastah Karmendriyani Pravanena Karmaso. Says beautifully. So this Buddhindriyani means Jnanendriyani, okay? The organs of knowledge, of course. So what are they? He says, look, Sravanam, the ear, Tvak, skin, Akshi, eyes, Granam, nose, and Jihva, the sense of taste. So sense of hearing, sense of touch, sense of seeing, sense of smell, and sense of taste called tongue. So this is what? Vishaya Ababodhanat. So this here mean only to gain the object of knowledge. So the sense organ's job is to bring the information that is related to their object of knowledge. Okay. Also says there are also 5 organs of actions. Who are they? Bak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. Here is Gudam. This is the difference. So Bak, Pani, Pada. So Bak means the organ of speech. Pani, hands. Pada means leg. Padaha means both the legs. Gudam, the anus. And Upastha, the genital organ. So they are called Karmendriyani, organs of actions. And says beautifully, their job is what? Pravanena karmasu. Always they are being engaged in the actions. So Karmendriyani are always engaged in the actions. Jnanendriyani are always engaged to bring the informations. So they are busy in their way. In fact, as long as they are busy in their way, that long you are a healthy person. If you don't walk, what will happen? You know what will happen to your leg. Forget about mind, okay? If you don't really do some work physically, what will happen to the body? So that's why Karmendriyas, organs of action, must work. However, he says, look, let us look at, here is beautiful, it is big, try to say, let us look at what is called Antakarana. Antakarana means it's a beautiful word called inner instrument. So we look at our mind, including ahankar, ego, as an instrument. So what is the job of the instrument? So instrument by itself cannot function. Always we use the instrument to make things easier. When instrument by itself cannot be used or function, but the person who uses the instrument, the purpose of using the instrument is to make the work easier, comfortable. But unfortunately, this inner instrument that we have, most of the time makes work more complicated. Sometimes it is better not to use this fellow than using wrongly. This is the problem we go through. So what are they? Let's read. Nigadyatenta karanam manodhim aham krutischetamiti subhruttivi manastu sankalpa vikalpanadibhi buddhi padarthadhyavayasaya dharmatah. It says nigadyate. So nigadyate means it's called. So what? Antakaranam iti. So this is called as inner instrument. And what are they? Manah, dhihi, aham kritihi, then chittam iti. So these are the four things, says beautifully. And of course, why? He says, look, so brutivhi, because they are being engaged in their own functions. We'll be seeing in details, definitions. So the first one is called that manaha, mind. Second one is called aham kritihi. We'll see the definition. Ahankaraha, ego. Aham karomi iti, bhava. Wherever they say I do. Sorry, in between. Second is dhihi, intellect. Manaha, mind. Dhihi, buddhihi, intellect. Ahankaraha, ego. And the fourth one is called chittam. Chittam means memory. That we'll see in details what is all about it. In the third line of this verse highlights the definition of mana, what we know also. Mana tu sankalpa vikalpanadibhi. So what is mana? Sankalpa vikalpa. So when it says sankalpa and vikalpa, so where there is some doubt, because the job of the mind is to bring different type of informations. There is some type of confusion where you are not able to decide anything. There is some, yes, this is right, then suddenly, no. So that means doubt and hesitations, lot of issues are there. So that is what called mind. That's why if you have doubt, that means your mind is functioning, okay? If you don't have doubt, mind is not functioning. Either you are under the spell of this, or you are intoxicated, or you are depressed, okay? So however, also says buddhi. What is buddhi definition? Here he gives the buddhi definition. Padartha adhyavasaya dharmatah. This is another word, very nicely says. So it is a padartha adhyavasaya dharmatah. So it is pada artha. So pada artha means always it tries to determine adhyavasaya dharmatah. Always it tries to find out the meaning or the truth of any object. So that means the job of the buddhi is to find out, to determine, to derive at the truth of anything, whether object or subject or anything. That's why we say nischayatmika buddhi. In Tattva-bodha we have seen. So that means it is very clear. There is no doubt in it, certain. That's why he says determining the truth of object. Okay. Then what about this ahankara and chitta? Let us read next verse. अत्राभिमाना दहमित्यम अहंकृति स्वार्थानुसंधान गुणेन चित्तम अत्राभिमाना दहमित्यम अहंकृति स्वार्थानुसंधान गुणेन चित्तम gives the two definitions very nicely. So atra here abhimanat aham iti aham krutihi. Alisa aham krutihi ahankara is aham karoti iti bhava. When this I do, the sense of me doing, that is called ahankara, ego. Action continues when I enters. It's me, me and me. But here is put abhimanat. So abhimanat means there is some type of identification. And because abhimanat, fifth case, because of the identification, aham iti. So where the identification happens? With I. So anything happens, thought comes, suddenly because of the identification, I think. Four organs of actions working, suddenly because of the identification, I am doing. Organs of perception start seeing, now because of the identification, I see. So here everywhere this identification with the I is called ahankar. That's why we say everywhere ahankar wants to get in and wants to take the credit. But finally whether it takes credit or discredit, that don't ask, okay? What happens? It is exactly like, you get excited to buy, subscribe a credit card. And if you are not careful, if you do not calculate, you know what hell you go through. So like that, this I wants to take credit all the time. Finally what happens? Then he says, not only that. So chittam is beautiful word, he says. Swarthanusandhana gunena. Swartha anusandhana gunena iti called chittam. Now the chittam means memory, recollecting faculty, remembering faculty. He says its function is what? Remembering things. Swartha anusandhana, remembering, contemplating, looking into, inquiring into, referring into those things. It finds its interest. Unless something is interesting to you, interesting to the eye, will you be able to remember? Try. Every day you are getting a lot of information. Does all the information, even though as medically, all the information gets stored, gets registered in our hard disk called brain. But do we really recollect? Do we really remember? Never. Only those things we are able to recollect, those things we are able to remember, those incidents or those informations are connected to me, and that's why it becomes interesting. Can you see this point? That's why when we tell a story, it's a beautiful story, you can see. About Taj Mahal, you know my favorite topic, okay? Even though you know the story behind of Taj Mahal. But what did they say? Taj Mahal is a moment of, Mahal is not a moment, okay? Actually it's a moment of differently, real moment they made, okay? Monument of love. And what is that love? Because Shahjahan loved Mumtaz in such a way, because after that lady passed away, the moment then he got married to next one, okay? This is called love, okay? That's another story, let us not get into that mess. But in the memory of wife, now this Shahjahan created this called Taj Mahal. Can you see? Now the love and memory, all these things are being put. Now everybody is touched by the word love. There is some type of sense of loss, which I could not fulfill. Now if somebody could fulfill, let me relate with that. Suppose if it is being said, Taj Mahal, such a beautiful architecture, will anybody go to see there? Will that be wonder. In fact, there are better things in India, much better than that. Go to Rameswaram. In South India, every temple will be one monument. But it is not highlighted because there is no emotion involved, because they are that you cannot relate with it. And of course it becomes sentimental, it's religious. That's another point. Whether it is another one called Great Wall, what is called Great Wall of China. If there are bigger walls are there. In fact, in Rajasthan there is one fort. It's much more interesting than that. However, let me not get into the controversial statement. What I am highlighting here is how this remembering capacity is being developed when there is emotion involved, where there is I involved. So unless and until I am involved in something, I will not be able to recollect. That's why all chitta, all my memories are related to the ahankar. That's why the more I am affected, the stronger memory I have in my life. So whenever a person says, memory is haunting me, I am hurt. This is another point. I am hurt. What does it mean? So with reference to that situation, that person, that incident, I is so strong, the person is not able to remove the I from that situation, from that person. And as long as I is there, that long the sense of hurt will continue. Even though you say, okay, time heals. A time may heal with reference to that situation. Don't worry, after a few days, again you will get hurt with reference to another situation, another person. The sense of hurt will never go from you. Only the person, the situation will change. Can you see this point? So you keep changing people. You keep changing the object of your heart. But deep within, you remain as heart. So that's why it's very carefully being used, that the power of memory or recollecting capacity, better use what? Recollecting capacity has something to do with my ego. That one has to be very clear. Okay, fantastic. Then let us look at what about these 5 pranas. Then he says, let's prana pana dhyana dhyana samana bhavatyasau pranaha swayam eva vritti bhedadhi vikruti bheda suvarna saliladhivat. Beautiful, okay? Says beautifully, if you look at how he gives the example first is Suvarna Saliladivat Vikruti Bheda. How this Suvarna, gold, and Salila Adivat, water, etc., goes through certain modifications. Gold becomes different ornaments, or water goes through different changes color or becomes ice and all these things, or different vessels you put it. How it goes through changes. Same water, but it is being presented differently. Same gold is being presented differently. You call this is called bangle because it has got one purpose. You call this is a chain, it has got another purpose. You call as a crown, this is another purpose. So each same gold, when the purpose is changed because of its functioning, now it is being named differently. So also prana, even though this prana in short is called vital energy, also goes through 5 modifications based on its own function. And what are they? Prana, apana, Vyana, Udana and Samana. You know better. I don't want to talk what are they and how they are, okay? We have discussed enough, so I am glossing over, okay? If not, please refer Tattva Bodha. So because I have to always, do you know what? I have to say this Tattva Bodha, okay? Now, next verse. What is this subtle body? Here, generally you know, sometimes we say Saptadasa Kalabhihi, 17 parts, sometimes we say 19 parts put together is called subtle body. So 5, what are they? Karmendriya, Gyanendriya, Pancha Prana. Then we say Mana Buddhi, 17, sometimes Chitta Ahankara, 19. So here it comes up with another new definition which is very interesting. Let us look at that. He doesn't talk that way, he brings much more. He says, look, he brings 8 groups. So put together 8 groups are called Sukshma Sarira. So what are the 8 groups? Let us read. Bhagadi Pancha, Sravanadi Pancha, Pranadi Pancha, Brahmukhani Pancha, Buddhyadya Vidya Picha Kama Karmani, Puriyashtakam Sukshma Sarira Mahu. So he says, Ashtakam Puri Ashtakam. So these are the 8 cities, 8 group of things put together. Is called as Sukshma Shariram, subtle body. And what are they? So starts with Bhagadi Pancha. So 5 organs of action, starting with speech. Bhag, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upasthiti. We saw just now, okay? Then second one says Sravanadi Pancha. So this is one group up. Second group is Sravanadi Pancha, 5 organs of perception. Shrotra, Jivha, Grahana, Chakshu, Charma. Then comes Pranadi Pancha, the third category. 5 prana, just now we saw Pranapana, Samana, Udana, Vyana. Then he adds Abhramukhani. So 5 other elements starting with space. This is a beautiful point he brings. Then says Buddhyadi. So Buddhyadi means Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. So these are the group. Then he adds in that Avidya, ignorance. This is a beautiful point to see. Avidya, ignorance. Apicha, Kama Karmani. So Kama Karmani means, Kama means a desire. And of course a desire along with comes Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, all this its own group. Karmani. Karmani means because of the desire comes action. And wherever there is karma, there is karma phala, result of action. So put together is called as subtle body. And it's all are 8. Group of 8, here he highlights as called subtle body, which is very nice, very interesting to understand in a better way, in a better perspective, I would rather say. Because when we look at this thing, okay, let's look at why and how it is. Let us look at next also. Please read. Idam Sariram Srunu Sukshma Sangitam Lingam Topanchik Kruta Bhuta Sambhavam Savasanam Karma Phalanubhavakam Swagyanato Nadirupadhiratmanah How? Let us look at again here. It says, idam shariram shrunu. So that means what? Please, may you listen to it carefully. Idam shariram. This subtle, this body, let us say, idam shariram, because shariram means body. So under discussion is what? Sukshma shariram. So idam shariram, listen, sukshma sangeetam, which is known as subtle body, also called as lingam iti. So lingam means lingyate anena iti, by which you infer. Okay, by which you infer. It's like seeing the smoke, you infer there is a fire. So smoke becomes linga for the fire. That's why we say, yatra yatra dhumasti tatra tatra vanhi asti. Wherever you see smoke, there is fire, unless there is electronic cigarette. Maybe in electric cigarette there is some form of this what do you call, fire. That's why in the flight they don't allow electronic cigarette to carry. So maybe something we need to look at, okay? So wherever there is smoke, there is fire, because I am not that much well versed, so please we need to look at that point, okay? However, coming back to the point. So through the sukshma sharira, only when there is sukshma, presence of sukshma sharira makes this body alive, or the jiva's presence. So if the sukshma sharira is not there, if the subtle body is not there, can you say the person is alive? That's why it is called as linga sharira, by which you infer. So very nicely says, then not only that, he says, look, how is it? Apanchikruta bhuta sambhavamiti. We have seen in details in Tattvabodha. Apanchikruta bhuta sambhavam. So it is being produced with this elements, that which has not gone through this panchikaranam gratification. And of course, very nicely, karma phalanubhavakamiti. So it has got power, and because of that reason, it brings all sort of experiences in keeping with the fruits or the result of previous actions. So that means all our sukshma sarira, if I have got a good mind, it is because of my purva karma. If I have got a good hand, functioning hand, but the behind it, not this this aspect, okay? I am able to work properly. I am able to see properly, not physical eye behind that. It is because of my good karma. That's why we have a beautiful way of looking at. When there is any disease, that too very prolonged disease, and which is not able to be cured. So there what we do, we try to look at the previous life karma. So we do take the help of a lot of things in astrology. So we try to arrive what the person did in previous life. And based on that, when we do the treatment, remedy, not treatment, remedy, actually it gets cured. So any prolonged disease, any disease is related to previous karma, be clear. Except cold and cough, okay? So any prolonged disease is connected to previous life karma. So how did this happens? So also anything, all our experience that we come across is related to the result of our previous actions. And this is the job of this subtle body. And say, so jnata, this is the beautiful. Because of its own ignorance. So, thank God, okay? Imagine with knowledge if I bring all these things, only I will choose the best. And finally I will be waste, okay? And of course, it is this ajnana is anadi, it is beginningless. And why all these things happens? Because this is because of this ajnana and that anadi avidya. Now everything is superimposed on the self. That's why my life moves this way. And how it moves? Looks, he says, look, how he brings the Swapna Avastha. How this dream, it happens. And how the dream and waking there is difference. So also knowledge and other things, which we'll see on Monday. Please close your eyes. Purnamada Purnamitam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.